Well, hearing nothing, let me take some check-ins. Let's see. This is November 7 with the 9H Ham GlobalNet, taking check-ins for the net this evening. A bit late, but that's okay.
Northern Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra 9H1 FDS.
Golf Zero Bravo India Alpha.
Nine Hotel 1 Tango Lima. Name is Chris.
Alrighty, I have myself, of course. I have 9H1 FBS, Golf Zero Bravo India Alpha, 9H1 Tango Lima. Somebody keyed up, but there was no audio, and I know that Joe is here, and 9H2 Mike Kilo also is here. And so, any other checkers for the net this evening?
Good morning, good evening. This is Kilo 4, Romeo Yankee Golf, Arenza in Anchorage, Alaska, USA. I'm here.
Okay, I got you checked in. Arenza, good morning to you. I hope you're having a good day. I assume it's a bit cooler, but maybe not. Weather's been awfully weird lately. Let's see, any other checkers for the net? Okay, hearing nothing, I'd like to thank the repeater trustees for allowing us to use the repeaters, the 9H1 DMR and the 9H1 UHF repeater. I'd like to thank everybody who contributes to the making of the net and to the execution of the net. And everybody's help is very welcome. And I'd like to have a special thanks to Joe. Joe is going to give us a presentation today on photography, aerial photography to be a bit more exact, which I think is interesting. But before we go there, does anybody have any traffic of interest for the net? Any comments, questions? We're trying to veer the net towards a more not directed kind of net, which I think is fun, and it allows people hopefully to not have to wait their turn and the rotation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, feel free if or when you have a comment or anything to drop your call sign in, and I will do my best to take notes, good notes, and remember and be able to read those notes. And sometimes it's not that easy anymore. So this is November 7 with the 9H Ham GlobalNet. The net meets every 2 weeks. This time of the day, this day of the week, on Echolink, on the 9H1 UHF-R link, or the 9H1 DMR-L link on the repeaters themselves if you're local. And also, it can be heard on the YouTube channel, 9H Ham GlobalNet. And there's also a recording of the net that will be available 1 or 2 days after the net for those who couldn't make the net and would like to know what was said during the net. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening. Old habits never change. Yeah. This is S7ABW for the 9H HAM GlobalNet. I'll take another pause for checkers. I promise I haven't been drinking yet. It's only noon. None, Joe. Are you ready to give us an introduction and your presentation? And 7APW.
W9H1 Lima returning. Good afternoon or good morning, most probably for the guys in Alaska there, our friends in Alaska. Good afternoon to Ian. Nice to hear you, Ian, over there. And all the rest of our friends here on the local place here in Malta. Very good. They just posted a couple of pictures here on the 9H group there. So anybody wants to see a couple of pictures of the book there, managed to get a couple of pictures in just now. Alright, very good. I don't want to keep it too long, so is there a timeout on this over or not before I start there? Anthony, 9H5 Foxtrot, French 1 Japan Lima. 9H1 Japan Lima, 9H5 Foxtrot Alpha. The timeout is about 6 minutes, but we're trying to keep sort of every 3 minutes. We try to pause just to make sure and let the repeaters catch up. Joe, you're sounding a bit faint. Low amplitude sort of. I'm not sure you're holding the radio close to you or using a different radio or mic sensitivity or I don't know what. But you are sounding a bit faint, at least from my QTH in the Rizala. I hope this is better, holding the radio closer to my mouth. I'm using the A2FT1D right now, so hopefully I can be heard much better there. Alright, very good. Let's try and make it in short pieces. Alright, so has actually been my first hobby before radio. Started into photography way back in the 80s, beginning of 80s actually. And at that time it was 35mm films. I used to take quite a lot of pictures then, so many pictures, and whatever comes along of interest. So then radio came in and switched over mostly to radio, but still managed to do also a lot of photography along the way. Main interest in photography is landscapes, silhouettes, sunrises and sunsets, and some nature pictures also. So there's always some new aspect to the hobby of photography. You can always experiment like we experiment with radio. So you can always try something different. Photography is something that you imagine the picture before you take it, and you try and make it come real. Or as they used to say before, the picture never lies. But today, nowadays, unfortunately, with technology, that cannot be said anymore. So come along the way with progress. Okay, well, photography can be monochrome or color, whatever you like. They both have their own um, zones of interest, as you would say. Um, I'll leave a short break and then I'll continue there. Then I'll start with how the book happened to come around. Okay, so my book, Mortalia Photography, came along with a little push from one of my friends and person doing photo albums for quite some time. The event came along where I was gifted a 75-minute flight by my family as a gift for Father's Day, and managed to get into the air on a light aircraft there, and as you might have imagined, taking my camera along to make the occasion something to remember. So I shot pictures over pictures, and as it was a new experience for me, it was like a trial run, so you had to adjust along the way. Being in an airplane, it's a different story from being stationary, so you have to take pictures the best way you can. I managed to get quite a lot of them, and eventually ended up making an album. So it was quite an interesting album, and it was in December time in Malta, with the rain that we get, little rain that we get. The scenery was quite green, so that made things much more interesting. Another short break and then we'll continue from there. So, having done this project sort of on a personal level, as a personal album there, showed it to my friend there at work. First comments were quite good, but eventually I decided on making a better version of the album, let's say. And I did a 90-page album, all in landscape format and A4 size, and that made the pictures much more interesting. The details coming out of the pictures was quite noticeable. And the next thing was that short comment was mentioned there that it's a good it would make a good book for tourists, and I like that comment quite a lot. And he interested me, and I started asking around, and got quite a lot of help, and eventually managed to get the book done in a as a book should be, actually. So I learned quite a lot of things along the way, something that I never realized, but a lot of people helped me along and managed to get all the details required to eventually print it also with a printer, which I did myself. So managed to do it on my own, and managed to get the books out on the market too. And that's now been a whole year. First date that the books were put on sale was on the 11th of August during the Fest of Santa Maria, our local village over here. So that was the first start off on the book there. Right, let us give a short break and continue from there.
3 TZM, Golf 3 Tango Zulu Mike, Felicia Taikula.
You're noted here on the net, doing the story of how my book came to come around, and how I managed to get those pictures also from the air. Okay, very good there. So next thing was that I have to present this book as a legal depository to the National Library over here. So some friends helped me along, and we managed to organize the event there at the Mosta Library, and the CEO for the Malta Libraries came along, so I could present her with my legal depository books, and we managed to do that in September, beginning September. It was 3rd September, something like that. So that was quite an occasion for me. So yes, the book was received quite well. A good roundabout tour around all the Maltese islands. Managed to get a shot of all the Maltese islands, including Susla. That I wanted to start off, but eventually that was shot at the end of the run over there with the plane. So managed to get the outer side of Susla, something which people never get to see. So did manage to put that on the back page of the back cover of the book, so people will now have the opportunity to see Susla from the onset whenever they see my book. Okay guys, I put a couple of pictures on the 9H HAM group, so if you want to visit the page there and see the pictures, there are some pictures of my book. Some internal shots of the book, so you can have a good idea of what it looks like. Right, another short break, and I'll continue from there. Very good. Thing is that the book inspired me to move on and on and on all the time. And being the author and publisher of the book, I could do things how I wanted them to go. But sometimes when you print a book, it might not be your say what happens with the book, but in my case, it's everything is done as I would like it to go. And from one thing led to the other, managed to get the book going in several shops myself, including 3 of them in Gozo. So it's available also on the island of Gozo from these 3 shops. I've been using my platform on Facebook, which helped me quite a lot. Being my first time with this project, it was quite convenient for me to use it, and managed to show my intentions on how the book is going. Right, another short portion that continues. Okay, so the journey ended up me presenting it to several distinguished people here on the island. Managed to present it to several of the high-ranking authorities over here, and they have recognized the potential of the book as a good showcase of our beautiful Maltese island. As I said, 96 pages. It could have been more, but unfortunately you can't add too many pages to a book. Otherwise it won't be um, possible to transport it from one place to the other. And in fact, as it was intended for tourists, and a tourist who would buy the book would have to look, be careful about the weight. So that was the main reason so that the book is 96 pages. But anyway, I'm quite happy with it. There were much more photos taken, which unfortunately had to be left out. So I hope that I know that there are some people here listening that have obtained my book, and they know quite well what I'm talking about. So it's been my great pleasure there being able to provide this picture, because a picture is something you take at a certain moment, and we always remember moments in our lives. We never really remember days. We always remember moments. So picture is a good showcase of the exact time that I took those pictures. Right. Better switch to a lower power because unfortunately I didn't change the power. So give me a short break so I can change the power to a lower setting.
Very good, Joe. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. We'll wait for you to change your power source, and in the meantime, this is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. We have a presentation from Joe, 9H1 Juliet Lima, about photography and where it has led him as somewhat of a second career, actually. In the meantime, are there any other check-ins for the net and 7APW?
Did you get me, Jerry? G3TZMO.
Yeah, I have you down, Bill. Thank you very much. Good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. I think I saw that there were some storms and rain coming your way, but that may be normal. Of course, it keeps things cool, too, and I have no problem with that. Today is a beautiful, cool day for everybody's information. Currently about 22 degrees Celsius, so that's kind of nice. Summer is not over yet, but hopefully within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we will definitely cool down and keep going that way. So I'd like to thank everybody for attending. If you have any questions or comments, just put your call sign out, and you can ask them directly to Joe when he opens up his presentation for questions or comments. I have some myself, obviously. So let me give a short pause, and if I hear nothing, I'll pass it back to Joe to continue his presentation. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Kilo 4 Romeo Yankee Golf, KK4 RYG with questions.
Okay, Arenza, give me a moment. Let's see if Joe is back. Joe, if you're back and listening, we have a question for you, and then pick up where you left off. 9H1 Juliet Lima. I don't know how I could forget that call sign. With the 9H HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
I'm back over here, no problem. I'm listening. So, okay, Aaron, so go ahead with your question there, my friend.
I would like to possibly order a copy of the book. Can you give me the International Standard Book Number or ISBN? We also have an ISSN along with the title of the book. Thank you. And by the way, Net Control, I'm having communication issues. I was hearing him go in and out, so I'll try to fix that, and if I can, get back into the net. But I just want to make sure I relay my questions so that he could possibly answer those. Back to you. This is KK4RYG.
Okay, Aaron, so unfortunately, you have to get into contact with me if you want to get a copy of the book, and you can send me an email on jlabdullah@gmail.com. If you look up my call sign 9H1 Japan Lima, 9H1 Japan Lima on qrz.com, you'll find my email address and you can contact me there, Lorenzo. And if you want a copy of the book, we'll have to figure a way to get it to you. It will have to be by direct post because I don't have any agents working with me. This project was all on my own. It's my first time I did a book, so please bear with me. But it's been quite well received. It has traveled all over the world, actually, because a lot of people have bought the book and took it abroad with them. Lots of them are in Australia already, another one in New Zealand, America, Canada. Well, most of the world has got it by now because it is also being distributed out by our foreign affairs minister also, who decided to buy some copies of it so he could gift it out himself also. So, but the email address is jlabdullah@gmail.com, so you can contact me there if you wish. Okay, very good there. My friend Bill's got the book also, so he knows what I'm talking about it. He's got it also, and some others over here. He also got it, I believe. So, well, there's not many left, so I decided that I'll be starting another one, hopefully next year. I ended up going on another flight this year. Timing was different, than in June, so the scenery is going to be quite different from the first book. It's subject. Aerial photography, you have to shoot as many pictures as much as you can. Not all are going to be good to be used, so you choose the good ones, and then you, of course, you decide which ones you have to use. Right, I'm gonna get a timer over here, so stand by. You get the information needed from your side. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is KK4RYG. I got your message. I'm going to QRZ you and definitely hold me for 2 copies. I will definitely work out the delivery options. But yeah, great story. Look forward to seeing what you got. And Net Control, like I said, I'm having in and out communication issues. So I'll part with you guys and try to catch you the next round and try to fix what it is that's causing it. This is KK4RYG.
RYG. Very good there. Very good indeed there. So get in touch with me via email and we'll settle things over there. Wasn't my intention selling the books today, but I'll be more than happy to oblige. Okay, very good there. So, any more questions before I go on? Darren, go ahead.
No other questions. I'm enjoying the conversation. That it's going to be some great stuff to read. So thank you in advance for all that you do, and I look forward to talking to you more often. This is KK4RYG. Back to Net Control.
KK4RYG, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Thanks a lot, Lorenzo, and thanks for joining on a very regular basis the last several nets. Really appreciate. And yeah, thanks a lot, and hear you in 2 weeks' time. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. To 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima, I do have a question, but I'll let you finish first. Because you might be answering it. So, back to 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. NH5 Foxtrot Alpha, 9H1 Japan Lima returning. Very good. I don't want to keep it too long. Alright? The journey is not over yet. That is what I can say. The journey is not over yet. With no meaning. It's not over yet. Still continuing, and of course you'll get your updates there on my page there, on my wall on Facebook there. Anything happens, I put it there. So keep following me over there, and of course let's hope that I can manage to continue with this new aspect of photography. I'm not a professional photographer, okay? Let me state it. I am not a professional photographer. I do this just for the fun of it, but seeing the potential of those pictures has been quite amazing. Has been quite amazing eventually. Actually, what I want to just repeat is, when I used to take pictures before, my father-in-law used to tell me, put them in for competitions. And what my reply was, no, because I only just do it for the fun of it and for love. I never bothered putting any of my pictures for any competition whatsoever. But this thing came along, and of course I started riding this wave, and I'm very happy that I didn't let go of it. Okay, so one last more thing. Actually today managed to get some information from our friend Charlie, WB4PVT. He sent me a picture. He had told me of his intentions. He has bought my book, and he's got it. And he has been giving out talks to radio clubs, and has been using it during those talks also. That's quite interesting, because of course he's promoting our lovely island. And most of all, today he sent me a picture. Actually, he sent it yesterday. I didn't have time to look into it properly. He sent me a picture with him at NASA, the Langley Research Center. And he drew my attention this morning. He said, did you get a good look at that photo? And said, no, why? So I zoomed in, and I found him in the picture with him holding on to one of my books. Just in a minute, let me insert your break. Okay, so this is something which has truly made me much more happy with the outcome of it, because I had actually joked about it. I told him, if you're going to NASA, give them some information on Malta. And lo and behold, he decided to take the book along, and I do believe he must have used it there in his talk that he had intended to use. I tried to get in touch with him before we started the nest. Unfortunately, I couldn't get hold of him, so he can give us some more information on what happened and all that. So hopefully he'll see my message, and maybe next time around come on the net, and he can let us know exactly what happened. So that's another thing that came along, which I never really expected. See what you were going to ask over there, I think 985 Fox Alpha, H1 Japa Lima.
H1 Japa Lima, good day, 9HM GlobalNet, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. So, what lenses, what focal length of lenses did you use from up there? Because you've got very wide views and very clear views. So, were you using, a conventional lens, or were you using zooms? Or, my other question is, I've seen every page in your book, and in other areas, photos, which you find sometimes on the net, taken from light aircraft, you occasionally see the shadow of the plane being cast by the sun. You see the shadow of the plane on the ground. In your case, you managed to avoid that in every picture. Was that actually avoided during taking the picture, or have you photoshopped some shadows off after taking them? I mean, the images are really excellent in terms of no shadows anywhere, and they're very, very clear. Back to 9H1 Japan Lima, this is with the 9HM GlobalNet, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Very, very good question indeed. Very good question indeed. Right, for lenses, I only used one lens, the camera. Came along with my camera, a 28 millimeter to 55 millimeter. Now, something that I learned from someone else way back when I was working at a complex up north on the island. They did a photo shoot, and this helicopter came along, and the photographer, which happened to be the manager, went up in the air and took the pictures that he needed. And something that he had said that time was that you don't need to have a telescopic lens, because you can always get the pilot to go up or down. So that's quite easy to do with an aircraft. Well, an helicopter is easier because it goes up and down. But in light aircraft, you have to go lower or higher. But that's still the same thing. Okay? That's still the same thing. Okay. I've been holding the radio too far. That's one thing. And with the shadows, well, the time of the day that you go up in a plane or an aircraft to take the pictures is quite important. So I always try and go in the middle of the day, because in the middle of the day the sun is up high and you won't get any shadows around. That is one of the reasons that you don't see any shadows. And regarding the shadow of the plane, well, if you get a shadow of the plane and you can't get out of the picture, then you have to put the picture aside. That's how I went about it. Of course, you're going to get reflections sometimes, and they will, of course, make the picture unusable somehow. Depends. That's another thing. I'll have a short break and then let you in on something else. Mentioning shadows, okay? All those pictures were taken from behind a perspex, the perspex for the plane, okay? And that is something you have to endure and be patient about, because sometimes you get reflection of these perspex. You have to be close to the perspex to take the pictures, so you'll remove any reflections, hopefully. But when you get the reflections, of course, as I said, either you can wipe it out, or if it's not possible, then you have to put the picture aside. That's why you take several pictures. Let's say 4 at a time. One of them would be usable, and maybe others won't. And actually, you can always remove the window if it is possible, or the door of the plane. But then that would you end up there. Depends on what time of the year you're going to be up there, all exposed to nature, as we say, and that's not always possible. I was going to use my last flight. I was going to go up without the door for the plane, but unfortunately, I changed my mind, and that gives you more work to have good picture quality. But as I said, you take as many as you can, and they pick the best ones out of them. 9H5 Fox Alpha, 1 Jaffa Lima.
Lima with a 9HM GlobalNet. This is 9H5 Fox Alpha. Right, Joe, thanks. Yeah, I crossed my mind that you probably would have gone up around noon, because even there isn't shadows of cars by buildings either, or if there are, very, very, very conspicuous. Yeah, I think this thing was well studied. Out of curiosity, approximately how many pictures did you actually take to select the ones that you used? 9H1 Japan Lima with the 9HM GlobalNet. This is 9H5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Okay, all right. Well, the first flight, which was a 75-minute flight, nearly all those pictures were taken on that flight, apart from 5 of them, which were taken on a different flight, a commercial flight. So I could include some pictures on the center of the island, which I had. It wasn't my intention of doing the book, as I said, so I had to build up the book somehow, as we didn't fly over the middle of the island of Malta. Other islands you can fly around, but Malta, due to commercial planes, passenger liners, and all that, you can't stay in their flight path, as you know. So unfortunately, it's not that easy to take pictures over Malta in a plane. Okay, don't tell me drone, because it's another story with a drone. Okay. Yes, and regarding as I said, the shadow. First flight I took me about 382 pictures, most probably, I think something like that, if I'm correct. On the second flight, it was a different story. The second flight was all planned out. As I said, the first flight wasn't planned at all, and it happened to be very, very good weather, and you have to be lucky to get a good day to get those pictures. And second flight, which I did just recently, was to fly over Malta and get some more pictures over the island of Malta. I planned the flight to go up in the air around 11 o'clock, let's say. So I had to wait till all the previous flights got done with. All ready to go, cameras in the cockpit. Got a call from tower, and flight was cancelled, no more flights. So that put me off with several opportunities, because the weather was good on that day, but then 4 attempts to get into the air again, and things changed drastically from March into June. So the weather and the countryside all changed color. So it's a different story altogether this time. So guys, you know about it. So if it's going to be another book, it's going to be a different sort of book. Right, timer out again. So over to you again, Stone.
With the 9H HAM GlobalNet and 9H 5FA. Okay, it was quite an effort. I mean, taking about 400 pictures and then choosing the best of those. Yeah, I can understand it was an effort. Yeah, and I forgot about the perspex. I've tried taking pictures through perspex or through glass, and most of the time I get some sort of reflection. So you probably managed to angle the lens to the perspex in such a way that you don't get that reflection, because they don't. There's sort of, I couldn't find any evidence to show or to indicate that they were taken through some medium. I thought actually that you were holding the camera tightly strapped to your net, obviously, over the side of the plane. 9H1 Japan Lima with the group. This is 9H5FA.
And 7APW.
Jerry, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to put an idea out. This is N7APW with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. If anybody else has any more questions, please just put your call sign out. And we're enjoying very much the conversation and the presentation. I have some questions, but I'll defer those to I don't know exactly whether you're done with your presentation or not. And like I said, I have a few questions, not just one. I'll stand by, Joe, and thank you very much for everything. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H HAM GlobalNet.
Yeah, actually, I better close up and take the questions. Just a little bit of information. On the last site, my camera was set at multiple shots intentionally, so I could pick the best one out of them. And this time the amount of pictures taken is something like 4 times as much as the first one. So that's a little idea of what I'm going through right now. Going through them all, and it takes a lot of time to pick the best ones out and discard the others. And that's the thing about it. Anyway, little by little they get done, and then you have to actually a lot of them aside just the same, because as I said, the book would be most probably a 96-page one again, most probably. If you make it bigger, it's going to change all the aspects of the book. So we'll see. We have to wait and see about it. Right, guys. I hope you like that. We still talk about it. There's more to go. As I said, a little bit more, and then hopefully I'll start work on the proper work on the other book. But going, I have to continue until I'm done with what I have. Okay, so that's it for now, and feel free to send me an email or whatever if anybody wants to ask any more questions after we finish. You can see the pictures on the 9H group post there on the net. I put some pictures there of the book itself. So go ahead, Jerry, fire away. Let's see what's of interest for you.
Okay, very good, Joe. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H Ham GlobalNet. Are there any other check-ins, or are there any questions for Joe before he wraps it up and we wrap up the net? N7 APW standing by.
Hi, this is 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima. Just making sure that I have a mic check, please. Just a mic check, please.
Sound loud and clear, Chris. Go ahead.
Okay, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris. Yeah, I'm using Echolink on a new computer, so I'm not quite confident with its use. So thanks for the mic check. Just want to make a quick comment about Joe's book. I have a copy, a signed copy. I'm very happy with it. So I just would like to comment the photography, his skills, and the fact that it's a very interesting project to document Malta from the skies before it's going to change, unfortunately, with overdevelopment. So that's my little comment. It's a piece of history and a piece of art at the same time. So thank you very much, Joe, for this piece of work and for this talk this evening. Okay, good afternoon, good evening to everyone from me. This is 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima to the net.
Answer there, Jerry, please.
Go right ahead.
Thank you very much for obtaining my book also, and I'm really glad that you liked it. As I would say, it marks a point in time. I don't want to mix that up. Sometimes I mix it up. It's marking a point in time when those pictures were taken. As I said, they were taken on the 8th December 2022. Apart from 5 of them in the center of the island, those were taken in August 2019. So that's the timing for those pictures. Actually, some architects tell me that they buy the books so that they will have a point of reference, they call it, a point of reference. They will notice the development, what changes were made and all that. So that is exactly what you were saying. It's marking a point in time, and that will be noticeable in the future for sure. Okay, very good. Any other more questions over there?
I have a few N7 APW. Okay, here are, well, we'll do them one or two at a time. First of all, let me see if I heard you right. The lens that you used for these photographs was a 28 to 55 millimeter lens. That's the first question. And here are a couple of more related questions. What was your first camera that you started learning on, experimenting with, and what was your setup at this point in time? And 7 APW. Current.
Okay, confirmed the lens I used to was the 28 to 55 that came along with the camera. Right. Way back in 1980s, I started off with a Ricoh KR10, and that has a story in itself. It was a automatic and manual camera, and that is something I prefer because sometimes you have to make the picture yourself. by changing the settings of the camera. And you set it on automatic. That's easily done by anybody. But if you do want to in some settings, you change the picture altogether. Those settings usually I set at sunrises or sunsets. Sometimes you get a good silhouette right in the middle of the day. And these are done with changing the settings of the camera. Way back before digital cameras, it was much easier. Today, technology has taken over and a lot of computerization is in the camera. So, I did take my time to change it onto digital. I did it with a small digital camera, with a Fuji camera, which I used extensively, 12 megapixels. It was still got some good pictures with that camera, I can tell you. Nowadays I started off with a Nikon DSLR, the 5300, which is my favorite one because it's not so big. It's quite easy to carry around, which I do every day. I carry my camera with me every day. Comes up for a picture, always there, handy to take the picture. And lately I added on another camera, a Canon FT80D, which is a little bit more in a higher level, and you have to experiment to get to the cameras that you have. Your camera, you have to sleep with your camera, as we would say, to get to know them. You don't know how to use the camera, unfortunately it's not good to get the pictures that you need. Go ahead with the other questions if you want. Go ahead.
Let me take a pause. Anybody have any other questions in 7APW? All right, hearing none, I heard you make a comment. Well, first of all, when the book goes out of print, are you intending on reprinting it? I get the sense that the answer is no, but I'd rather hear it from you. And you had mentioned drones, and I have it noted here. I know the restrictions in privacy and this and that and the other, but I was interested to hear your perspective of using drones and even maybe attaching a light camera like a GoPro or anything like that to it, and someone who was visiting Malta took a video off of Dingley Cliffs, and he dropped the drone free falling for a long time, almost close to sea level. And that was enchanting to me anyway, because there's no way I'm ever going to experience that, and I'm not that crazy. I am crazy, but not that crazy. So, back to you, Joe. That's 7APW.
TS7APW, Sean Jeff Arima. I haven't had any experience with drones, that I can tell you, so I can't really comment much about drones. I'm still old-fashioned type, sort of, but maybe later on I might consider it when I have more time on my hands. I might consider trying it out also. Lots of people say, okay, drone photography, yes, you can do whatever you wish. Well, things are changing all the time. I don't know the full requirements for drone photography, so I can't go into that area. What I know of is that when I started off with the book, they told me there's something else like it. I looked around and it was actually Malta drone photography and not Malta photography. It made all that difference, and especially people really prefer the actual photography than the drone. From my perspective, what I have gathered along my journey. But as you said, things take on a different turn every time. Technology is moving very, very fast. Right. Any other questions over there? Because I have to make this a little bit short now, and usually I don't stay on this much, but today I made a big effort to stay on. N7APW نعيشوان جفاري معه.
Okay, I'll try to make it short. I just have one last comment. First of all, before I do that, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time and answering the questions and giving us the information and the insight on how to put a book together, actually, especially on your own. Congratulations on that as well. And something struck me as very interesting. You said you're not a professional. Well, you have to think about it this way. At least this is how I think about it. A professional is someone who combines experience with talent to present a product that pleases a multitude. And so I think you're doing that. Honestly, I think you are, judging from the feedback that you've received and the comments and everything. Because I've always asked myself, when does somebody become a professional? Professional school? I don't know. So anyway, just a comment, Joe. I'll make a pause. I thank you very much on behalf of everybody who's listening and who will be learning on the 9H Ham site on YouTube. And I'll pass it over to Anthony real quick and see if there's anything else.
G3TZM.
Jerry, thanks. Nothing from me. There is Mike Caruana, 9 Hotel to Mike Kilo, who I believe is still listening. And if he is copying, if he's listening, I'd like to invite him to say hello before we close the net, because this will be his first actual time he actually talks on radio. So if you can hear me, Michael, you're welcome to say hello. N7APW with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Good. Michael, we'll pass it over to you. And then Bill has something for the net as well. Please stand by, Bill. Go ahead, Michael, if you feel like it.
Hi, yes, this is Michael, 9H2, Mike Kilo. It was very interesting tonight hearing all this discussion. And as Anthony said, it's the first time for me. I was also trying to read through my transceiver, which I managed. I tried for a minute to broadcast from it, but it seems that it didn't work. But from the echo link, it's working fine. Back to you.
Well, Michael, thank you for checking into the net. Welcome to the ham radio community. I hope to hear you many, many times in the near future. Bill, over to you and 7APW.
Yeah, N7APW and the rest of the net from G3TZM. Yeah, okay, Joe, thanks for that. And yeah, I have a copy of a signed copy of the book. Grazie hafna, Joe. And I'm not a professional photographer either, but I do a lot of railway photography, and you can see it all on YouTube. There's a lot on there under my name of the excursion trains, and a video from yesterday when I managed to take a video of the Network Rail's new measurement train, which I've been lucky to be on twice before now, on trips from Crewe in Cheshire down to London Euston. And a little piece of news which none of you will be aware of. Our eldest daughter did a challenge this week. She flew to Malta on Monday and she's walked the length of Malta and flew back home today. And oh God, she has videos. She has videos of her trip as well on YouTube, and the map of her coverage and everything. She did some early morning starts as well, 6 o'clock in the morning because of the heat. So there we are. I'll send you the link, Joe. You can have a look later on. So back to net control from G3TZM, Golf 3 Tango Zulu Mike.
Okay, very good, Bill. Thank you for all that. If you could send the link also to the 9H HAM GlobalNet Anthony's address, 9H5FA, we'd probably post it on the YouTube page as well, and if that's okay with you, of course. We'd enjoy that. I go over there, and there are quite a few links, and I like to watch all that stuff. So thank you very much, and I'm glad you're doing well. Anything else for the net? Joe, you had something to say. So before I ask the general question, I'll pass it over to you. You may need to go.
Broken. Go ahead, Julie. Go. Julie Golf. First of all, Joe, as the other said, and as I told you certainly many other times, congratulations on your book. You did a very, very, very good job. Regarding questions, actually I don't have questions myself. I've been on some of the flights like you, and I know the feeling and the struggle when you're out there. Besides that, I'm very well done. I'm looking forward to it. This is the 9 hotel to do this goal with that. I did not understand your question, if it was a question there. Talking to the microphone closer because you were a little bit weak there. Go ahead. 9 Hotel to Juliet Golf. Actually, I don't have any questions, but as I told you and as I mentioned before, congratulations on the book. You did a very, very, very good job. And I know the struggle and the feeling when you're up on those little planes and trying to take some pictures or some photos. But besides that, I'm looking forward for part 2. And hope we have something brewing soon. This is 9 Hotel to Juliet Golf, Mike back on a controller.
And 7 APW for the 9H HAM GlobalNet. Any other traffic for the net? Any other questions for Joe? Anything else for the net? November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
G3TZM over.
Bill.
From G3TZM, yeah, I've got to go because I've been shouted for a program that I'm supposed to be looking at on the television 10 minutes ago, but I thought I'd stay on. Anyway, thanks a lot. Be in touch, and I'll put the link up on the website, and I'll see you all later. G3TZM, الليلة طيب كلها.
To you too, Bill. Take good care of yourself. Anything else for the 9H Ham 9H Ham gathering for tonight and 7 APW?
Vin is still on. Vin, are you still on? He had to go there. All right, very good. Guys, I gotta make this my final. Unfortunately, it's been caught several times. I would never stop because there's so much stuff to say about what I managed to get through. But it's always a good experience and a big journey which I never ever dreamt I would be going through. It's been my great pleasure there. My greatest satisfaction, especially noticing that my book is being recognized by high authorities here on the island and also off the island. Right, 73 told. Good night everybody, and we look forward for our next conversation. Over to you, Anthony, and this will be my final. Over. 9H 5 Fox Alpha, 9H 1 Japali.
9H1 Japan Lima with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. This is 9H5 Fox Alpha. Thanks a lot, Joe. I know you have other hobbies besides photography, so I hope to you'll be able to give us some other share some other of your hobbies in the future net. So just let me know when you'd like to. And thanks a lot. And yeah, it's always very interesting and knowing something behind what went into the making of a product such as that collection of photography is very interesting and gives a new meaning to the actual book. 73, and thanks a lot, Joe. I'm going to pass the mic on to N7APW. I think I heard someone trying to check in just before Joe spoke. I'm not sure. It was a weak signal and I might have misinterpreted it. Just in case there's someone trying to check in, please feel free to do so. Check in with your call sign and name. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. If no one checks in, I'll pass on the mic to November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
It's been my great pleasure there with this net this afternoon, this evening over here. So I have to let you go, guys, and we'll talk on the radio as usual during the day. If you're very interested, give me a call and we'll talk more about the subject. I'll be more than happy to oblige. 9H1 Japan Lima signing off right here, and thank you everybody there for listening in. See you around there, Jerry, and everybody is still on the net. 9H1 Japan Lima here.
Okay, very good, Joe. 9H1 Japan Lima with the 9H HAM GlobalNet and 7 APW wrapping up the net. Thank you very much for a nice presentation. Thank you for taking the time. And don't worry, don't run out of time, Joe. You can sleep after you die. Don't worry about it. Just kidding. But time does fly by very quickly, especially when you're having fun. 73 is for now. Good evening to everybody. Thank you to 9H2. 9H2. Lost your call sign again. Michael, you know who you are. 9H2, Mike Kilo, for checking into the net, and welcome to the hobby. I hope you have many, many years of enjoyment from the hobby. It's multifaceted and it's very fascinating. And I thank everybody for checking in. We had a total of 10 check-ins today. Would like to invite everybody to check in 2 weeks. Same place, same time, same frequencies or internet connection for another edition of the 9H HAM GlobalNet. I'd like to thank Anthony for all the work that he does, mostly behind the scenes, because without him, I wouldn't even remember that we had a net. So thank you. There's my old age hearing aid. I'll better behave. 73s, everybody. Have a good evening. Be safe. Keep smiling. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, releasing the repeaters to normal aperture use. Good evening to everybody. We'll talk soon.